my god, guys, my brain is about to explode right now. This is crazy. So, Wonderland, for those who don't know, Wonderland has released a survey online, and the survey wants to get information out of people for what they thought on three different concepts. Those being a launched wing coaster, a launched inverted coaster, and a GCI, which looks to be similar to a Zambezi Zinger, that has a spiral lift, so it'll be like a Titan track with the new Infinity Flyer trains. Like, this is so hype, but I don't want everybody to get too excited because, like, this doesn't mean that all three of these are going to come in the future. Maybe one of these are going to come. Maybe none of these coasters are going to come at all in the future. Maybe they're just potential concepts to get people excited. But personally, I think at least one, maybe two of those concepts will come to life in the future. And I'm going to tell you my thoughts on them right now. These are like my raw reaction. I haven't seen any other videos. Like, just purely my thoughts. I've talked with maybe like 2 or 3 other of my friends just to see, like, bounce ideas off of each other. And I'm going to explain all those in this video right now. Let's start with the big boy here. So this is the one that sticks out to me the most. Is the launched invert that comes out of Wonder Mountain and has like the fire effects and everything you saw from that concept. Like, it's just so crazy to me, like that would be a concept. Like, how would that even work? Because first of all, for me, Vortex is on the top of the mountain. Wonder Mountain's Guardian, personally, I think Wonder Mountain's Guardian, if they're going to build something like this, that ride would go. And apparently, from what they said in the description of that, is that they're describing it as a blast coaster, and it's going to take place in the core of Wonder Mountain. So whether that be like the basement. So personally, I think Wonder Mountain's Guardian, it would be gone in this case, and it would use similar like Wonder Mountain's Guardian station, or maybe like some of the area in that, like, because Wonder Mountain's Guardian takes up a decent amount of area of the mountain. It has like some straight sections that you could potentially use for launches and stuff. This invert on the screen right here is Banshee. It is not a launched B&M inverted coaster. It is also way bigger than the coaster that would probably be coming to Wonderland, because there's no way that they'd be able to fit this inside Wonder Mountain or to fit it around Wonder Mountain with all the other, like, Lazy Bear Lodge surrounding Wonder Mountain, Yukon, Vortex, you have Thunder Run and all the other rides on the other side, and then you have like the front of Wonder Mountain. Like, I just personally think it would look a little bit tacky, to be honest. Like, don't get me wrong, this would be such a cool idea, but like, I don't think it would be something that I would want to walk into at Wonderland. Yeah, it'd be cool to see a ride going around Wonder Mountain, but like, Wonder Mountain is just so picturesque on it by itself with the water fountain and I Street, that it doesn't need anything to go in and around it. If they did, they would really have to hide it, and I'm sure that if Wonderland did go with this option, they would find a really good way to hide the track, because like, you can't see Vortex from the front of Wonder Mountain. If you're facing Wonder Mountain, you can't see Vortex. It's hidden really well. So it would really have to be hidden well so it doesn't distract your eye when you're walking into Wonderland. This also does align with the markings that I've been seeing around Wonder Mountain. So I had a friend of mine who actually had sent me some photos like on the ground. So I showed previously some of the orange markings. One of those was actually from around Wonder Mountain, and apparently he said there was a couple of them that had surrounded and they like made a full circle around it. And yeah, so like, it just lines up. So everywhere where you've seen markings is where one of these concepts is going to be. So these markings around Wonder Mountain are for this potential concept. The markings around Kingswood are for this potential coaster. So this is a launched B&M wing coaster. Think of something like Thunderbird at Holiday World, pictured right here. And this, honestly, it would look like it would be a really fun ride. It would have that launch that Wonderland needs. But after that, in my opinion, it would just be too similar to Yukon. Like, because Thunderbird is, you're going to see in this video how fast-paced Thunderbird is. But Yukon's a really fast-paced ride as well, and they have similar inversions like the vertical loop. Like, yeah, it has these bank turns, but like, it has the 0G roll. Like, there's like the wing seats. Like, it would just, for me, it would be too similar to Yukon. It'd be a cool concept, but just, you know, I would want something different. Like, if they were gonna put a launch coaster at Wonderland, it'd be either a Mack multi-launch with the spinning trains, or with or without, or even I'll take the launch B&M invert, but I don't think I would put the launch B&M invert by Wonder Mountain. I think I'd put it in this area here, Kingswood. And from the description, it seems like they want to bring back Kingswood because they're calling this because they're calling this the concert coaster, and they're saying it's going to have onboard audio, which would be amazing. And but they're going to be saying that it's going to be flying over like a huge stage while the guitars are playing and everything. Like it's a cool idea, but it'd be so much better if the wing coaster was themed to something like in World Expo theming. Like we don't need another area. Theme it to World Expo. Give it like a really cool theme. This right here is giving me Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket vibes. Not that Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket is a bad ride at all. I really like that ride, and I love the onboard audio. I just don't think that it was something that would fit personally at Wonderland, especially since they're trying to bring back, or it seems to be that they're bringing back Grand World Expo. It just doesn't fit in that area. What this coaster would do for Wonderland, give Wonderland a great launch that the park needs, and it would take back our launch record that Wonderland is probably going to go after, which is why you see 2 launch coasters already. The third coaster, however, is not a launch coaster, and this is the one that I think is the most likely, and the one I personally would like the most. Besides, the blast coaster would probably be like, that'd be amazing if they put that somewhere else. I would love that. I'd love inverted coasters, but the one that seems the most likely would be this GCI. I don't know for sure that it's a GCI, but it has GCI written all over it. Like, come on, guys! Like, it looks like Zambezi Zinger. It looks like Zambezi Zinger. But my thing is, if they're going to build a coaster like that, they got to build it taller, faster, and please give it an inversion. It'd be so good. It's like, we need a really, really good wooden coaster. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge Mindbuster fan. All of you guys know that. I got some really good rides on Wild Beast the other day, but like, they still run really rough. And like, GCI, their coasters are just so smooth. And the trains, and I got the new Infinity Flyer trains and Titan Track. Like, it'd be perfect. Just give us this a little bit bigger. Give us the spiral lift hill. Give us like the Canadian theming. Like, it would be such a good theme, and it'd be right over Whitewater Canyon. Like, there's all those markings back there. These markings are for this. The markings that are in Kingswood are definitely for that concept for the wind coaster. The markings for this GCI are all in Whitewater Canyon right now. They're just begging to be like, you could use Action Theater as a station, and then you have the spiral lift hill, and then you have the out and back layout over top of Whitewater Canyon. Like, it would be a mix of Mystic Timbers and Zambezi Zinger. It would be such a good ride. Mystic Timbers is a great ride. I'm not a huge fan of the Millennium Flyer trains. I'm interested to see how these Infinity Flyer trains are going to be. But like, just look at this, guys. It's so fast paced. It has different kind of airtime than what Wonderland needs. Look at this tunnel. That looks awesome. It's just such a terrain based ride. Wonderlands won't be as terrain based, but it will still be pretty cool flying in the woods. Think of the night ride, guys. The night ride would be amazing on this ride. Like, that'd probably be the best night ride out of the park, hands down. Like, and flying over Whitewater Canyon, it would be Mystic Timbers and Zambezi Zinger 2.0, 100%. Definitely my top pick if I had to pick from one of the three. Like, one of the 3 most realistic. I just think it would also complete Frontier Canada. This would be, so if we're going to get this coaster is going to complete Frontier Canada. And then potentially we could get one of the other 2, but like, it won't be in Wonder Mountain. It'll be in Kingswood for sure. But that would be even like another 3, maybe 4 or 5 years down the road. This is going to be as soon as possible. Whenever we're getting our next coaster, 2024, 2025, 26, I have no idea. This is my most likely option. I don't think they would fit a wing coaster behind Whitewater Canyon area. If anything, it would be a mock multi-launch coaster, which is still an option. I'm not saying that these are the only options. Just because you don't see a mock multi-launch or a mock spinner coaster in these concepts doesn't mean that it's still an option on the table. Like, they could easily think of something quick, and they could be like, oh, actually, maybe we want that instead, and you know what I mean? So it could even end up being a B&M stand-up coaster. It could be anything at this point, guys. Nobody really knows except for Wonderland. The only way you're going to start to know is when you start to see those markings appear. If the markings are going to be really spaced out, you know it's going to be a B&M. 100%. Like, there's no way it's not going to be a B&M if your markings are like spread out really far, because those rides have such huge supports. And like, I know there's one marking for Yukon, and it showed like the depth of the footer and the width of the footer. It's crazy. B&Ms are just huge rides, guys. And that would also start a couple years in advance. A GCI, who knows? Maybe we won't even see construction this off season. Maybe we'll see construction in like next off season for like maybe we won't see it till next summer for the GCI. if it is a GCI. But there's just so many options, guys. Just let me know down in the comments. I'm dying to know like what your thoughts on these concepts are. Like my mind was blown. I was like, whoa, I didn't even think it just came out of nowhere, you know what I mean? Just completely unexpected, and super excited for Wonderland's future. We have a really bright future up here. I will keep you guys updated on any other concepts or thoughts or any other advances in construction at Wonderland. And yeah, until then, stay tuned, guys. I will see you guys later.